start with Jen Halen, Top Guy Panini.
Coach, congratulations. What a win. Not just a dominating win tonight, but you followed up a dominating win from Friday, 2 in a row now. What do you credit that to? Do you feel like your team has turned a corner somehow?
Again, I've said it several times. We had a 4-game winning streak earlier in the year. There's no corners. I mean, it's just a long, straight road. It's a marathon. It's a grind. As soon as you think you've turned a corner and we've got it now, then you'll go back and play a Minnesota game. I mean, no, it's what you bring every single night. And I think the first 3 games here after the break have shown one thing. Like, we're capable of being very, very good, and we're capable of being very, very bad. And it's all about what we bring to the game. We have competed much harder on the defensive end of the floor the last 2 games, and that has set up our offense, quite honestly. I mean, you know, we're getting stops and rebounds. Clippers are a great offensive team. You're not going to shut them down. But I thought we did a great job of being into people and making it hard on them. I think they felt us a little bit tonight. And then on offense, I mean, our ball movement, you know, they really tried to load up on our 2 best players, and those guys were willing to get off the ball, and then the other guys made plays. I mean, Lonzo got us off to a great start shooting the 3, opening up the floor. Bledsoe with 8 assists, but then if you look, Bled had 8 assists, Zion 5, BI 5, Lonzo 5, Kyra 4. I mean, the ball just moved freely. I mean, we played very, very unselfishly on the offensive end, and then we shot the ball well, which obviously helps you, but we had 72 points in the paint. You know, I mean, it just, when you start making shots, the floor opens up. Just a good night all the way around.
It was a season high in assists, as a matter of fact. Let me take you back to defense. What did you like best about what you saw out of the defensive effort tonight?
I just thought we were into people more. We weren't letting them, we talked a lot about not letting them play with space, you know, and really getting into them. And I thought we made it tough. I mean, look, they've got really good players, and those guys, you know, are you're not going to shut them down. But I thought we made it tough on them, and then we rebounded the ball. And I think, you know, that's all you can do is play people tough, make them take as difficult a shots as you can, make them feel you. I thought we did all of that tonight.
Coach, I'd like to go a little bit further on the defensive end, because we talked about how good of a free throw shooting team the Clippers are, but you were able to defend without fouling, especially in the first half. They really didn't get to the line that much and take advantage of that. So was that impressive as well?
Well, it's important against them. Until the last quarter, I mean, we really didn't foul a lot. You know, maybe the last couple minutes of the third too, but we did a really good job. And yeah, that's all important. I mean, you want to take away easy buckets and the whole thing. I thought the few times we were forced into rotations, our guys made great effort. Our closeouts were better. We still left our feet a few times, but our closeouts were better. And, yeah, just a good night.
That's 2 straight games now that you've gone into halftime with a pretty sizable lead, and then in the third quarter you've extended the lead, and a lot of that has to do with what your bench has done. Again, just how important has it been to see the bench perform the way they have, to not have any slippage when the starters go?
Yeah, no, they've been good. You know, our starters have built the leads. First and third quarters, our starters jumped on people. But then, you know, those guys in the bench are holding their own. And so that's really, really important. I mean, at one point, you know, I was looking at a timeout, and I'm like, holy cow. I mean, this is a bunch of young dudes, and they're playing really, really well. I like the energy. I thought our guys competed really hard, and that's really what it's all about for us, the defensive end of the court, competing, and then just playing together offensively.
Speaking of Christian Clark here, one of the issues for Jackson since he came to the league has been contesting without fouling. You know, 1 foul tonight, 24 minutes, seemed like he was able to pull the 2 shots. What did you see from him on the defensive end?
He's getting better. I mean, you know, his activity is great, and, you know, the fouls sort of go up and down with him. You know, there's had nights where he's had fouls, but tonight he did a good job and didn't. I think they're playing going in, right, was they were going to run pick and rolls with Z's man. I thought Z did a good job. I thought our guards did a good job getting over the picks. I thought BI took the challenge on Kawhi. The last time we played with guys out, Josh started on him. Brandon didn't have to guard him. That's a tough matchup for anybody. And I thought Brandon took the challenge there. And look, I've been talking to those two guys. They are great offensive players who have bright futures. But if they want to go from great players putting up big numbers to winning players and guys who can lead a team to wins, then they got to play both ends of the floor. The best teams in the league have LeBron James and Anthony Davis who play both ends, and these two guys, Kawhi and Paul George, play both ends, even Boston's young guys. And that's what our guys have to strive for. And tonight, they put forth a lot better defensive effort, both of them. And if those guys are willing to put it in and defend like that, then we've got a chance to be a very good team.
Yes, and I mean, by the time you pull all starters in the fourth quarter, you guys were north of 70% from the field. I guess, what were you thinking during the course of the game, just watching your team execute on offense?
Well, we still only shot 26 threes. Now, we made them tonight, but we were on the attack, we were on the attack, and they were trying to blitz BI on his pick and rolls, and he was a willing passer, so we got some buckets inside that way. And then because we had made some shots, I think, Zion got room to go to the basket, and we know if he gets room to go to the basket, you're not going to stop him very often.
Hey, Stan, Scott Kushner. I know this might be a remarkably simple or stupid question. You mentioned the spectrum of how well you guys can play and how poorly you can play. Having watched it now in the same week, is there anything that you have done differently or anything that you've seen differently as far as entering a game that would make you believe as to which side you're going to get and how to coax that more often? Or is that just something that is almost impossible to kind of figure out until you're watching it,
Yeah, no, I really don't know, Scott, because even in the Minnesota game, I said it after the game, we started well,
Yeah.
So, no, I can't tell. I'm not sure any coach can. Sometimes you have an inkling, but it's all about what we bring, and you could tell early on tonight and early on in the Cleveland game that at least at the start, we were ready to compete at the defensive end of the floor. That, just our disposition was great. Now, the question for us has always been, how are we going to sustain? And we've done a better job the last two games of sustaining over the course of the game.
Yeah, you mentioned the way Jackson is playing on both ends of the floor right now. Just what do you think about the way he responded to losing his spot in the rotation to build it for that short stretch and getting back and playing the way he has these past few games?
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask him how much that had to do with it. But he has played really, really well. And again, just like with our team, it's natural after not playing to be fired up when you get your chance and go out and play. To become really good as an individual or as a team, you have to do it night after night after night after night after night. And that's the challenge. It's a challenge for team. It's a challenge for players. And it's more of a challenge for everybody in the league this year for what's going on. But that determines what separates the really good players from everybody else and the really good teams from everybody else is not what you're capable of doing on one great night, because every team in the league has that. Every player in the league has that. It's what you do night after night after night. And so a lot of that emotional stuff, I haven't been playing, I'm all fired up, I'm playing a team that traded me, whatever it is, and you have all that emotion, that's great, but that's not going to carry you through the long haul of the season. What carries you through the long haul of a season as a team and players is habits. You build the habits of this is how we play every single night, this is how I defend, this is how I approach the game, this is how I play unselfishly. You build those habits, and then you have a chance to be consistent. And we've still got a long way to go to be there to where it's every night, or at least 9 out of 10 nights, that's the way we approach the game, individually and as a team. And that's what we're talking about, and that's hopefully what we're working toward.
Thanks, Coach. We're all set.
All right.
All right, we got Zion joining us. Christian, you want to start us off?
Zion, 38 assists for you guys as a team tonight. What did you just think about the way you guys moved the ball around tonight?
I think we moved the ball around very well tonight. Created a lot of open shots for everybody, and it led to efficient offense.
Yeah, you guys were up around 70% by the time the starters came out in the fourth quarter. Have you been a part of any games like that when you guys were executing that well on offense?
Yeah, we've had a few. We had a few games I think like that last year and a couple this year. I don't know if it was exactly 70% but no, I feel like we've had a couple games this year where we like shot the ball very well. Everybody's moving the ball.
Hey, this is Andrew from ESPN. I just want to get your reaction on that Jackson dunk that he had there on Reggie Jackson.
Hey man, it's funny you say that. Me, JJ, and Bled, we were talking about that. We were like, coaches, they say make the right rotation. Reggie made the perfect rotation. Like that was good defense. But if it was me, I think I would have made a business decision and moved out the way, to be honest. But man, that's Jax. Jackson get like 5 of those a game if he wanted to. So man, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Zion, in addition to the highlight plays that Jackson is coming up with pretty consistently lately, what do you think about just the way that he's been playing, the energy that he's been bringing over these last couple of weeks? It seems like he's having probably the best stretch of these first 2 seasons of his career.
Man, it's great to see Jax doing that. You can see, I see Jax working with Coach House all the time, and those two are always like, especially House is always giving him confidence, and it's great to see and to see their work translate to the court. I know there's no better feeling than that.
Hey Zion, sorry to give you the non-basketball question, but I wanted to ask you about Drew Brees and just his influence on you since you've been in the city, and just kind of your thoughts on his announcement today.
Legend in the game. I mean, I think everybody knows that he's a legend. He gave his heart and soul to the game. I know a lot of people are sad to see him go, but like Drew told me the truest thing I think anybody's ever told me when I first came to New Orleans. If you love the city, it'll love you right back. And whenever new people come visit, that's the same thing I tell them. So yeah, that's the kind of influence he's had on me.
Brett Martell here with AP. Just watching you play tonight, the way you would at full speed dribble behind the back, made that bounce pass to Eric, whipped out the bounce pass to Josh Hart for the 3, set up the alley-oop. I mean, it just seemed like you were really in the flow of the game, not just scoring, but in all facets. Did you feel that? And what do you think helped create that vibe for you?
I say it all the time. I was trained to, play the point guard. I grew up playing point guard, and I grew up being taught how to facilitate the game. And, I'm one of those players that whatever the team needs me to do, that's what I'm ready to do, whether it's score, play defense, facilitate. And, Coach has been really put me in a position to facilitate the game and really open up the game for myself. So, like I said all the time, shout out to my coach and my teammates for, trusting me to be me.
Yeah, and you guys had that tough loss against Minnesota coming out of the All-Star break, and you bounced back from it, with 2 dominating wins. I guess what's been the key to kind of rebounding the way you guys have in these past 2 games?
When we lost to Minnesota, the vibe was a little off, fresh off All-Star weekend, but, we also understand that this is the NBA, there's going to be a night like that every blue moon. You don't want them, but sometimes they happen. But, the thing in those situations, you got to learn from those losses, and I feel like the past 2 games we played very well.
Hey, can't let you get away without asking about the Stanley impression you gave the other night. Steven said it was spot on except for the bad breath. Jackson,
man.
Can you give us a little on the impression?
We just lost to Minnesota, and he just had a blowout win. And in those situations, like, I said it in the hallway before I went in the locker room. I said, man, I already know what Coach is about to say. Coach need to wrap this up. I'm trying to go. And he said, all right, you go and say it. And I was like, fellas, way to respond. But if we want to reach that next level, we're going to have to keep doing that consistently. We're just going to have to do it. We're going to have to play defense like that. The intensity is going to have to be consistent, and we'll be a great team. So enjoy your day off and come back ready Sunday to play. Yeah. And that's like he says it every time.
I think that was pretty good.
Thanks, Zion. We're all set.
No problem. You guys have a good night.
That was great. All right, guys, let's get our hands ready for Jackson. Andrew, you want to go ahead?
Hey Jackson, Andrew from ESPN. What are you going to remember more, the block on Paul George or the dunk on Reggie Jackson?
The win. The win.
Jackson, Nikhil talked about this morning after shoot around that he likes just the mentality that you've had and the way that you've kind of gone about, practices in preparation for games. Is there something that you've done lately that you think has led to the way that you've played lately in these last couple of weeks where you've been so consistent and productive in the time that you've been on the court?
I've just been getting in a lot more extra work, conditioning, lifting wise, on the court work as well, just trying to make sure I stay ready and just make sure I'm the best I can be.
Yeah, and just how good are you feeling right now on both ends? It just feels like you're moving around a lot different than what we saw earlier in the year. Just how are you feeling, just comfort-wise and everything you're doing on both ends?
I'm feeling a lot more comfortable. Our new defensive scheme just kind of fits my playing style better, just kind of being back some and being able to play both guys. So just helps a lot, and just kind of sitting back and watching in that time off kind of helped me get more used to stuff when I came back in.
Why do you think playing this way defensively is maybe better suited to the way you play?
It's just the way I've always played. I mean, I can play either way. It's just playing back in the drop. You don't have two guys pulling in. You don't have another guy pulling in to try to go get the corner three and stuff. And I feel like it just helps a lot more. Also with me, I got long arms, so I can try to pressure the ball and play the roller. And then we don't need two guys coming in to help.
Hey Jackson, it's Martel with AP. Would you mind just taking us through your thought process of what you remember about the dunk with Reggie Jackson and also how you kind of, I guess you had an adrenaline-infused response afterwards, not the referee's reaction to it.
Hey, well, I remember B.I. passed me the ball on the roll. I slipped out. And Nomi said it, so I slipped real quick, gave me the ball. I saw him there, but I thought he was about to move real quick, and then he stayed to take the charge, and then I just dunked on him. And then obviously I got a little hyped up after having that little break, and then All-Star break. So yeah.
I guess you figured you could jump over him, or what? That's kind of like what you did.
I was just trying to get the ball in the basket.
Yeah, I wonder if you care to share if you were among the players who got vaccinated this weekend, and if you weren't, if you plan to get vaccinated soon.
Yeah, I got vaccinated. I think it's a good idea. There's been a lot of doctors who've done a lot of research and stuff, NBA guys, and so I took the vaccine. Just want to be as safe as I can with everything that's going on.
Jackson, that stretch in February where you were the Veterans Center, I mean, did you take away anything from that time? And was there anything when you got that chance again, did you feel like I really want to bring X to the game?
The main thing I took away is just I never want to be in that position again. I mean, it's not like it was a bad thing. I just always want to be on the court. Every player does, and so I just learned I got to come out and just make sure I play my hardest every time so that doesn't happen.
Hey Jackson, I got another question about the dunk. Where do you, out of all the dunks you've ever had, where do you rank that one?
That was pretty good. That was probably, I'd say like, I get that one top three. Somewhere in top three.
What were the other two? What were the other two that you put in the category with that one?
Summer League definitely up there. And then one I had in high school was pretty tough.
And during that stretch where you were, on the bench behind Billy, I guess, was there anybody in particular in your ear during that time, keeping your confidence up and telling you what you needed to do to get back where you needed to be?
Coach D House, Steven, Billy, both would talk to me the whole time. I mean, all the guys on our team are just such professionals, so they were all helping me when I was out, just telling me what to watch, telling me just what to pay attention to, just stuff like that.
Jackson, how much of this might be something that I'm imagining, but how much of the focus that you've had lately has been about just being more demonstrative on the court, and how much is it something that you thought about as far as just bringing more energy, or something that the coaches talked to you about? I mean, obviously in the circumstances where there aren't as many fans in the stands, it's great to have somebody that is yelling to the crowd and doing some of the stuff that kind of brings energy to the team and the game.
I mean, I just see it as there's not a lot of fans. So I try to bring my own energy. I'm an energy guy. I try to make energy plays. And so just whenever I do that, I just try to get myself hyped up, get the guys hyped up, so everyone just starts going. Hopefully we can go on like a run.
Thanks, Jackson. We're all set.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, man.
All right, guys.
Jax.
See you tomorrow.
get hands ready for Kyra. Christian, you go ahead.
Kyra, Stan was pretty happy with the response defensively these past two games compared to the Minnesota game. What do you think you guys are bringing on the defensive end that you didn't against Minnesota?
It just started with playing with a lot of energy. Just focusing on the defensive end, not taking plays off, trying to make it as tough as we can on the opposing team on the offensive end. Really just going out there, having fun, and just playing the game. So I think that's what we got back to.
Yeah, I don't remember if you were on the court or not when this happened, but just what were your thoughts when you saw the Jackson dunk over Reggie Jackson?
It was crazy. I kind of seen it happening, being on the other side of the wing. B.I. made a good pass. Jackson be athletic, just long, him stretching out and dunking the play. It was kind of crazy. I had to go back and look at the screen and see it again.
What do you just think about, 6'11", 7'3", who can just move and jump like that?
He's very athletic. It's really crazy because, like you say, he can move, he can run the floor, erase mistakes on the defensive end by blocking shots. Really just an exciting young player, and I just can't wait to see him in the future. I know he's going to be a great player.
And just what would you think of seeing the way you guys were executing on offense tonight? Around 70% by the time all the starters came out. Just the overall offensive performance tonight for you guys.
Just moving the ball, getting it from side to side. Just not letting it stick. Shooting the ball when we got an open shot. You got the drive attack. If the big come up and help, making the right play. Or if they don't help, just going in and trying to finish the play off. So really the main key was just getting the ball from side to side, being aggressive, and making the right reads.
We've seen quite a bit this season where defenses just load up on giant B.I., when they have the ball in the perimeter. If you're, a guy who's kind of spotting up around that, just what's your approach offensively, knowing that the defense's focus is heavily on them?
Just be ready to shoot, but also if you see the back of your defender, be ready to cut and get an easy bucket and help your teammates out. You might not get it on the cut, but you might free up another shot for another teammate. So really just moving out the ball and always being ready if the ball comes to you.
Thanks, Kyra. We're all set.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kyra.
Yep. Yeah, I think Ashley wants to know how you feel about that Denver game today.
No, we already All right, let's get hands raised for Lonzo. Will, go ahead.
Yeah, so before the starters came on, before you guys were up there around 70% shooting from the field, just what do you think about the offensive execution throughout the entire night?
I think it was good. You know, tonight we played with a lot of pace, moved the ball. You know, we were playing together on that side of the ball. I think generating, you know, good shots for everybody, and that translated to easy buckets for us.
Yeah, more on the, I guess the ball movement side. I had 38 assists tonight. What was working so well for you guys to have that sort of flow?
Like I said, I think it started with the pace, and then we had a lot better spacing than we had in the last couple games. So just giving guys space to do what they do and moving the ball to open shooters and putting the ball in the basket.
So what do you think of the spark that Jackson Hayes has given you guys and just the way that he's played over the last couple weeks?
I think Jackson played amazing. He's been playing, great basketball, especially as you see tonight. He's dangerous, in that pick and roll for us, just the way his ability to finish. And then also on defense, he's quick enough to stay with the guards. And then, he's long enough and, he has the athletic ability to protect the paint for us as well. So, he's been playing, great over the last couple of weeks. And I think tonight was just another staple of the season that he wants to have.
Lonzo, what do you feel like you guys have brought to the game defensively these past two that you didn't necessarily against Minnesota?
I think energy for one, and then for two, just helping one another. We saw the tape versus Minnesota. We left a lot of guys on the island. There was not much help. We got to guard the ball better. That's the start of it. But the guys on the back end weren't helping out, and I think the last two games, we took a collective unit, and we've been doing that.
And just one more on Jackson. What was your reaction to his dunk on Reggie Jackson, and where does that kind of rank for you in terms of in-game dunks that you've seen personally?
Jackson has a few in-game dunks that I've been, wowed by. I'm not used to him dunking off of 2 feet, so tonight, that was special that he went off of 2 feet. He usually goes off of 1. It was just a great play by him.
Thanks, Lonzo. We're all set.